Hello, today is December 12th. My call on Thursday evening was I anticipated a gap out of the day's range, and that happened. I said even if the gap were up, that I thought 2047.74 would print. Well, the gap wasn't up and the target printed immediately. We are left with a failed target of 2067.94, which really should print at some time. We're getting awfully close to a failed target from October 7th. During the day, MEJT said ultimately lower prices would print, and even though that wasn't the next move, they did print. Market was in free fall. It said ultimately higher prices would print, that the ensuing drop would not stick. Higher prices printed, hit the target, and there was resistance over it. When the target printed, it said that would retrace, which it did. There's no new target from the system for Monday. We have some positive and some negative indicators in Friday's trading. Let's go over some of them. You have a gap here within a consolidation. These things tend to get filled. If there's no prior consolidation occupying all of the area, there tends to be a subsequent consolidation occupying all the area. You have a gap down with a declining slant. Almost always this isn't a sustainable pattern, particularly when it looks like an ending diagonal triangle. Usually it'll break up. It isn't really good when you break out of the lower tine of in Andrew's pitchfork. And when you switch to a different pitchfork and it drops from the upper half into the lower half, that isn't too good either as a rule. What really isn't good is you have a diamond on stilts. Here's your stilt, here's your stilt, half a diamond's enough. Here's the first challenge of the left stilt. Here's the repeat challenge. Usually it fails in a large way. The one thing that would stop it would be if this drop were invalidated by reversing immediately, preferably by gapping up on Monday. So we have to figure out what are the chances we're going to gap up on Monday. Well, we now have a few failed MEJT targets at higher prices. These in July don't really have to print because the system likes to leave failed targets at major changes in trend. But we have a couple on December 2 and now one on December 10. These are the only ones in the last year and 2/3, other than this one in October, which haven't printed. There's nothing in the system requiring them to print soon, but it would make a cleaner picture if they did. My ongoing hypothesis was that the market topped out last spring, that this is an impulsive move down, part of wave 1, that everything since then is a corrective move. If this is part of an ABC, this should be part of a 5-wave A pattern, which hasn't completed. In addition to the ending diagonal triangle, we have bar 13 of a sequential and a combo buy signal on the 65-minute chart. That alone isn't enough to say go long because it could recycle, it could fail, or it could print 9 pairs of a new setup to give us a 9-13-9 pattern. However, there is a wave count suggesting that this drop could be over. If this is a wave A of an ABC and it has 5 waves up, if that's 1 and that's 2, this would be 3. If this is ABC, then A is equal to C, right at that low. We also have a parallel channel right over here, pretty close. So if we were to gap up Monday, we should have the 5th wave up, and because of the extended nature of wave 3, it would be most likely to truncate. So the call for Monday is that the open is critical. If we drop down immediately, I think a lot of my assumptions are going to be wrong and we should just keep on dropping. But if we gap up instead, there's a good chance that the VIX will give a buy signal too, because we have a line here completely over the upper Bollinger Band. And when it reverses down through the band, if that should happen, we get a buy signal from that also. So we're extremely oversold, but if we gap up on Monday, it could lead to a very strong rally, wave 5 of the ABC. And if we can't hold these lows and we start dropping, I don't see what's going to stop the drop, because then we have the second challenge of the left stilt of the diamond on stilt. So I think Monday's open is going to be very interesting to see which of those two things will happen. That's today's call.